Hi everyone, Cricket Star Boy Tyrelle Audain here, and since there isn't any CPL cricket till Wednesday, why don't we talk about a bit of Indian cricket for a little bit? And in today's video, we're gonna talk about the squad that the Ajit Agarkar selection panel announced for the Asia Cup. They had a big press conference today. Rohit Sharma, the captain, was there. But before we get into all of that, folks, today I was back out on the road after a week and a half, and after therapy today I had went down to Fan Zone in Movie Town in Port of Spain and purchased the TKR jersey to cheer on our very own Night Riders for the upcoming CPL matches. Now, as what I mentioned in a previous video, the Night Riders were in action Saturday. In fact, 4 CPL games, 4 consecutive games were washed out because of severe bad weather over in the Borges Stadium, now known as the Darren Sammy Stadium. And all 4 of the matches that were washed out, all of the teams had to share points. Now let's move from that side of the washing out business to show you guys what I got. So my friends, today I went to Fan Zone in Movie Town after therapy, and I have officially gotten my hands on the 2023 Trinbago Night Riders match jersey that they are wearing currently in the Republic Bank CPL. And I must say, this jersey is reminding me of the one from last year, and at the same time it's reminding me of 2016 vibes where we wear all red. But the difference between this jersey and the one from 2021, Melbet is the official sponsor, and also Republic Bank from this year till 2025 has taken over the title sponsorship from Hero, and I must say I'm already in love with this jersey. So let's get back to business. As what I was mentioning earlier on, India's captain Rohit Sharma and new chief selector, former fast bowler Ajit Agarkar, had a press conference in Mumbai announcing the team for the Asia Cup, and this is the team they selected: Rohit Sharma, captain; Shubman Gill; Virat Kohli, the former captain; SHREYAS IYER, back in the side after a lengthy injury break; Surya Kumar Yadav; Tilak Verma, one of the India's rising stars who has been performing well of late, recently against West Indies and now against Ireland; Rahul, also back after suffering a very bad injury in the IPL; Ishan Kishan, the wicketkeeper; Hardik Pandya, vice captain; Ravindra Jadeja; Shardul Thakur; Akshar Patel; Kuldeep Yadav; Jasprit Bumrah, also back after recovering from a stress fracture in the back; Mohammad Shami; Mohammad Suraj; Prashit Krishna, also coming back after a spell on the sidelines. And here's my thoughts on the Indian team that was selected. In my view, seeing Rahul and SHREYAS IYER names there, I'm not surprised, but at the same time I'm surprised to see Rahul's name there. Why I'm not surprised in seeing SHREYAS IYER back? He is most likely going to be India's number 4 batter at the World Cup at home, and considering the fact that both of them are now making comebacks from injury layoff, as if I was Rahul Dravid, the coach, I would have gone for Tilak Verma, who has been the star for India in the middle order at that number 4 spot of late in the T20 format. He has also have a good record in the list A format in India as well. We saw in the IPL how devastated he was batting at number 4 and 5, and recently in the T20s he has made a mark big time. Now there has been a lot of talk of him getting promoted from the Asia Games squad into India's team for the World Cup, but in my view, if I was the selectors, I would have taken things one step at a time. But it's so good to see Tilak Verma there. He has been performing quite magnificently well of late, and for me, in my view, it's a toss-up between him and SHREYAS for that number 4 spot in the World Cup. But we gotta also talk about the return of Jasprit Bumrah, who recently made a comeback in the T20 team and captained the side to a series victory against Ireland over the weekend. And it is so good to see him making an impact quite immediately. And obviously, he is the biggest boost India has for its pace attack. Remember, before he suffered that stress fracture in the back, he was India's danger bowler, or should I say, the leader of the pack. Then India missed him quite badly last year when there was Asia Cup and the World T20 in Australia. But this is crunch time for him. I don't want to see him getting injured again, because whenever he gets injured, India does always end up in, not all the time ends up in flames, I beg your pardon. And also returning for Team India is also Mohammad Shami, who was rested for the whole of the West Indies tour after a long IPL, and he was also a part of India's team that was a part of the World Test Championship final against the Aussies. And also coming back to is Mohammad Siraj, who had to fly home after the Test series as a precautionary measure to manage his workload. And completing the pace attack are the all-rounders in the vice-captain Hardik Pandya, who in my view has to strike both with the bat and the ball. And also Shardul Thakur, the bowling all-rounder. Now that has completed the pace attack. Coming to the spin attack for Team India, they have dropped experienced wrist spinner Yuzvendra Chahal. Excuse me, folks. And they opted to prefer Kuldeep Yadav. Now, Kuldeep Yadav has been in terrific form of late against the West Indies, both in the 50 overs and in the T20 format. And in my view, he had to be the one that was preferred, because he bamboozled West Indies batting lineup in the ODI series a few weeks back. And also preferred alongside Kuldeep was Akshar Patel, with Ravindra Jadeja being their main all-round spinner, who is also known for whacking it around with the bat, because we have seen it so many times over the last year or two, minus that injury break he had. And not surprisingly, there is no off spinner in the team. And I understand why India decided not to go with any off spinner, because if you have to ask one thing: when was the last time Ashwin played an ODI? Because within the last year or two, he has been mainly playing test match cricket, and for me, it is making no sense for him to be a part of the white ball plans going forward, because you already have other spinners doing good in the domestic system, even though I haven't been following up much. But for me, it's time India moves on from Ashwin. They already have Kulchal, even though Chahal was left out. But for me, I would have liked to see Washington Sundar in the team, but considering the fact he has been out of the team for quite a while, it didn't make any sense for India going in with an off spinner. But as far as the batting depth is concerned, I want to talk about India's batting depth. They bat all the way down to 7-8. The same thing can be said of Pakistan too, because recently in one of my recent videos I mentioned how Pakistan have opted to go deep with its batting lineup. Even their bowlers can whack the bat around a little bit, but we will talk about the depth of India and Pakistan in a future video. But for me, it's a toss-up for India's batting. It's a toss-up between Sky, Shreyas and Tilak for that number 4 spot. But if I was Rahul Dravid, Tilak has got to be there at 4. I know Surya Kumar Yadav used to be India's main number 4. Then he was dropped a little bit against the West Indies after having 3 consecutive ducks against Australia back in March. But Tilak has got to be given a go at number 4. And for me, it's time India move past Sanju Samson, even though a lot of the experts want him on the team. But if you look at his disastrous form recently, he only comes good in the right times. He scored 40 odd against Ireland on Sunday. That was in the T20. But you got to look at the stats. Sanju Samson time has come, and now again is most likely he's going to be dropped from the 11. But the thing is, they've carried him as a backup in case either KL Rahul or or SHREYAS doesn't get fit. But for me, what is the sense of carrying KL Rahul when he's not 100% fit? For me, I will not try Sanju Samson because he has been in and out of sorts with the bat in the 50 over format. So for me, it's got to be Tilak and Surya Kumar Yadav in 4 and 5. Hardik and Jadeja, they should bat 6, 7. But India has another problem that they should have. Who should open with Captain Rohit Sharma? Does Rohit drop himself down to 3 and Virat drop down to 4? Or you either go with yourself or Kishant or Gill. But for me, I should not. If I was Rahul Dravid as the coach, I would not try Shubman Gill anywhere else but at the top of the order. Him and Ishan Kishan needs to open, or the other way around. But nevertheless, those are my thoughts on the Indian team that was selected. For me, I hope, in my view, they need to try Tilak Verma, because lately Tilak has become one of my favorite young lads for the future. And KL Rahul, I don't know how he ended up there, but for me, it's time that players like KL Rahul find back his fitness and play at least in the domestic scene. I think him coming back in the India team way too soon can lead to another problem. But nevertheless, those are my thoughts. If you guys disagree with it, no problem. You guys can share your thoughts in the comment section below. But nevertheless, this is a very dangerous India lineup. If you look at the Pakistan lineup, they're also the same too, but you know how they are so damning unpredictable. But nevertheless, I will not talk about the unpredictability. But in tomorrow's video, we will look at the Afghanistan-Pakistan first ODI, which is tomorrow. I will have to watch it somewhere because these cable networks, they don't want to show it at all. If you look at Rush, Flow, which normally airs Pakistan's home games, they want to show rubbish 100. Now, I'm not a fan of the 100 format, even though it's the T20 format. That format and T10 is rubbish. That's my view. So with all of that said, I'm gonna wrap up the video. If you guys like the video, please like, comment and subscribe to my channel. And also, one bit of advice, and the next video I'm gonna make, I have to call out some journalists, because Trinidad's media is known for chaos, bacchanal and controversy. That's my take. So in the next video, I'll be talking about all that happened between last Monday and over the weekend in my weakest link, and that's politics. And disclaimer, I do not support any political party, none whatsoever. So folks, that's it. That's a wrap for this video. Catch you later.